Hello and welcome to week 11. I am sorry that this is a little delayed. We had some, or we still have some internet issues at campus, and so it's hard to get to the website. I will send you a message through Blackboard with a link on how to get into Blackboard because I'm sure some of you, at least, are freaking out about trying to get this work done. So, week 11. You can see the introduction video will be right here. Not a lot going on. We are just continuing to work on the draft of our researched argument, and we'll be posting it into a group page, but also submitting it to Turnitin so I can get a better view of it that way. And also we can look at the originality report for that. In addition, we have a discussion board, discussion 24, which is arguing the other side. This is very similar to when we did the editorial analysis, where we had to look at two opposing points of view. It's very important in an argument for you to consider the opposing side. It makes your argument stronger because you have an answer to all those what ifs that are out there. So, having an answer and a refutation to that counter argument is very important, especially if it's one where you have research to support your rebuttal of that argument, or if you're able to break that counter argument down by a logical fallacy and just point out, well, this is getting away from the actual issue and creating a distraction. So that would be like more of a um, non sequitur or slippery slope type argument. So 5 things for us to look at in discussion board 24, which I recommend you do before you submit your research argument draft. What's the stance position of the other side? If we might look at multiple opposition arguments instead of a single other side. Why do you think this other side feels this way? What are the main reasons for their positions, their supporting arguments, and do they have a point? And it's okay to concede their point and say, well, we don't have an exact answer for this, except that we know if we do these other things, is going to solve this problem. But how we get there is more difficult. So it's okay to not have an answer and acknowledge, well, this is a good point, and this is something that my call to action has to address, and I'll do that later on. So the idea is to figure out where your own strengths and weaknesses lie. So how do you refute these kind of arguments, and what do you say? That's an important thing. We'll post this Sunday night. In addition, submit a draft of your research argument. Doesn't need to have a works cited with it, but it needs internal citations. It should be leading to your call to action. So you submit that there. In addition, you'll submit it to your groups page. Again, you go to your group and you scroll all the way down to the discussion board, and that will get you there. Um, Lastly, I did post a video explanation of the call to action, which I didn't realize I was missing, and I just posted it right down here, call to action explanation. And there's also the PowerPoint that is right here. This video also contains my review of a student paper. I don't know if that's in the PowerPoint or not. So you can look at that here. The whole thing, if we go back to what the syllabus is, um, the whole idea of this project is to set up something with some headings, an overview. What is the actual issue we're talking about? The research that you've used, that's your review of literature, what the argument is, where you're explaining what the problem is, why it's a problem, and um, why people aren't doing anything to fix it. And then your call to action. What needs to be done? Why will it work? How will it work? And how does it satisfy the opposition? How is it going to answer the questions opposition might have? And then you'll put all this together in a single paper. You'll make a presentation about it, and that's really almost it. So then the final thing is, once you get your comments back from me and others through your presentations, you'll have to have time to answer and address any questions or concerns. So hopefully this is clear. We've been trying to work on this. I've been trying to make it clear since the very beginning of the semester, but with online classes, there's always a risk that things aren't going to be clear. So that is where we are. If you have questions, please let me know. I hope this week finds you well and that you will be able to get everything done. Thank you. I just got to stop recording. There we are.